Alright, last video we left off with explaining how we come across and create these helper columns. I just wanted to mention in the template there was a column after here for wage grade and general schedules, so on and so forth. I took those out. You can go back to the video if you'd like to see how to recreate them if you were to want them, but I deleted them. I wasn't using them. They won't have any reports in these tabs on the template, and it saved me about a meg on the report. So all in all, we just don't need it. If you were to want to, go back to the previous video. It'll be there. You can add them back in. So now we're going to go to the reports that we're going to have standardized for you and show you what these helper columns can help you do. Some really cool stuff. So the first tab you'll come to is the temps tab. So as you're working with your HR and auditing your Civpay program, this tab's just going to continue to populate who your temps are, if they're coded temp A, B, and C, and you can see here temp codes if they've been on the books for 0 to 90 days, 91 to 365, so on and so forth. We have the pay periods across the top. You can see in the pivot how this is set up, and it's kind of a Gantt chart type style. Remember, whenever I took that period out of the middle name, that helps this roll up nicely so you won't see the same person twice and be like, why is that happening? It'll just show you the person once. They may be in this column depending, because it's going to filter down from if they're on the books for longer, then they may adjust and be a temp B. But the other thing is a count. We're just going to count the number of temps. You will get random questions more than likely. How many temps do we have on the books? Are we going to carry them over quarter to quarter? How about fiscal year to fiscal year? So that's this report. Very simple, but it's just your temps, and it's filtered down to only show your A, B, and C temps. So that's all there is to this particular report. The LSL and awards, we talked about this a little bit. Right now, remember that column I said true, false for LSL and awards? I have it filtered just to true because that's all I want to see. And I have it collapsed right now, so if I select in this pivot table, go to analyze, what you'll see is expand field, collapse field. If I'm in here, I can hit expand. It's going to expand everything for me. If there were many, many more, it would expand all of them. Or I can hit collapse. Right now, I'll hit collapse. But as you get awards or as you get lump sum leave, you can expand these if you were to want to do some research. But it'll roll up and give you more definition by pay period if you were wanting to research that more. And then this top header is locked if you were to have them all expand to see which pay period you're in. The next one that's going to come standardized, and I'm going to go ahead and you can always show this pivot table field listing. I'm going to right click and hide the field listing for now. If you want to see it or adjust your pivot, that's how you would do it. You just right click and start moving things around. For your employee hours, it's taking a look at every single pay period and every single employee. It's going to do another count, and that you'll see rolled up in the Work Year Execution tab, your overall report. That's how we get that number. There are multiple ways to do things in Excel. Always more than one way to do it. And in fact, I don't think I've ever found only one way to do it. But there are more efficient ways to do it. In this case, whenever there are 40, 60, 80,000 records in a tab with your raw data, doing it one way like this, you'll never notice. But if you were to build it into the report, which I did just to test, you're going to end up having bottlenecks in your calculations and things like that. So the report will move very, very slowly. And what the current studies say is that people's attention span is 3 to 5 seconds with technology and refreshes. We're going to stay away from it being bogged down. So what you can do here, in many, many different ways to do it, and how you would do this, but you're going to work with your FM folks. You're going to meet up with your HR to whatever degree you do that, if it's very intensive or not. But it will start to highlight some ones that are over 80 hours, which on the surface would seem really weird. You could look at LEWOP from this potentially. A lot of options, but this is just going to give you the reported hours on the R60. So that's what this tab is. I usually scroll through here, see if anything is really, really weird. and then maybe take a look at a few other things. But that's this tab. The next tab, the line of accounting, I think I touched on this in a previous video. It's rolled up right now. But what you want to do here, it's standardized, it's set, so you will, and you see how this is cut off. You might notice that if in the View tab, another kind of quick tip, grid lines, turn them on, turn them off, formula bar, headings, just depends on how you like to do it. In this case, I'm going to highlight and unhide, hiding and unhiding, just to clean up reports. Anyway, getting back to this report, the LOA audit, which is gaining much attention at this point from OSD level to make sure people are getting paid out of the right PECs. As the pay periods roll out, you can see this is dated information. You'll want to go to the most recent one, open this up, validate what is wrong with this. So if the PEC PIF doesn't match the PEC PERS or the fiscal year is wrong, you have something to go to your Civpay folks in FM for DSIPs or your HR for DCPDS to take action and clean this up. Very helpful report right there. The next video I'm going to get into the hiring plan and work year execution. These tie in together, and it'll take a little bit of time to explain this one and how it ties in, so I will be discussing that in the next video. See you then.